In this episode, I'm breaking down exactly how my client got 250 new members, signed into her membership in 3 months, and how she added an additional $11,000 to her monthly recurring revenue. Welcome to the $1 Million Memberships Podcast, where we help entrepreneurs like yourself start, grow, and scale multiple 6- and 7-figure online memberships with simple, step-by-step strategies that actually work.
Your life is about to get so good.
Let's dive in. What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of $1 Million Memberships Podcast. I'm excited to give you guys this breakdown because when you actually understand the strategies and the systems and have a strategic plan that you actually stick to and trust, membership growth is just inevitable. Like, you know it's going to happen. And as a membership founder or any business owner, having even like that little bit of certainty is priceless. I think the reason why a lot of people don't do what I'm about to tell you is because they just don't know what's going to happen. It goes really against the grain of how you would think the easiest way to sign new membership members would be. Or also, a lot of people just don't do these strategies long enough, like actually give them the time to flourish for them to work. So this is definitely going to be an episode for you if you've been trying to sell your membership, or you're trying to get members, or maybe you're somebody who you try something for a little while and then you're just like, oh, this isn't working. So you scrap it and you hop to the next thing, and then you hop to the next thing because that didn't work either. And you're constantly feeling like you're looking for new strategies. This is a tried and true, use it all the time. I use it in my business. I use it with my clients. This is a strategy you are going to want to save. So let me give you some background of my client. She had a pretty established membership already. And when I say established, I more so mean she had people in it. She already had 400 members inside of her membership, which a lot of people are like, okay, she's made it. Amazing. But the thing about the 400 members that she had was that she got the majority of those members in 2020 when she started posting content online. And back then, if you've been in this space and you've kind of seen like the fluctuations in the space, and like you've actually felt the differences between now and say 2020 or 2018, back then there wasn't as much competition as there is now. Like, there wasn't as much noise online. There wasn't as many creators. TikTok was like really starting to take off. The landscape was like still very fresh and new, and you were able to get in and see significant growth quickly that year specifically. She grew her following like wildfire in that year. And it was really easy to get new members inside of her membership because she was growing so quickly and there wasn't many memberships like hers at the time. It was just an easy yes for her audience. She was finding that it was just so easy to sell it. Every time she posted about it, people would go in there. She would she would post on social media and she'd get like 20 Stripe notifications. The good old days. That was all new and exciting. But here's the thing is that when that membership kind of like lost its novelty, like people started, it wasn't just this new thing anymore that people were really excited about. There was more creators starting to come into the space. The space was getting noisier. There was more competition, like quote unquote competition. All these things made it seem very different to her to sell. And after that like first year of initial boom rush, everyone coming in, she wasn't able to sell it like she used to. Slowly, year after year, she started to notice it was getting harder and harder to get people inside of this membership. So when we started working together, I always like to do a big audit, especially if you're working with me privately with like one of my consulting packages and Expand. If you don't know what those are, by the way, I feel like I never talk about them. The link for that is in my bio. I do offer those as well on a availability basis, obviously. But what I do is I get my clients to fill out a massive long ass form, basically giving me all the details of their membership, their socials, their revenue, everything, just a whole overview, strategies they're using to sell. And there was actually a couple of things that were like immediate red flags to me that I saw right away. First thing was that she had literally zero urgency for people to join her membership. It was kind of just like, doors are open, come join when you want. She would post about it like a couple times a week on stories, sometimes put it at the end of her captions. She would talk about it sometimes on her podcast, but really it was just like this open door to kind of come and go as you want. And she didn't really feel like she could have like massive bonuses to give people to entice them to come because her membership was really low ticket to begin with. It was $27, which kind of leads me to the next thing is Rachel sold 1000% just through her social media and podcast, which That's not inherently a bad thing to do. That's just not an actual predictable strategy to sell. But that was the only strategy that she was using. She didn't have a strategic launch plan or sales plan. It was kind of just like, oh, I'd like to get more members in. I'm going to put an email out. Or I'd like to get more members in. I'm going to make a post. Or I'm going to plug it on my podcast episode. It was kind of just like, I really should talk about this thing. Here's how I'm going to try and sell it. And it's not that she wasn't able to get members in, because every now and then people would trickle in, but also people would leave. And she didn't have a way to consistently, predictably continue to grow it and sell it, which is a problem with memberships, because then you are constantly going to be in this like survival state. You never know how long this business is if you can't actually predict how you're going to get members in and what that growth is going to look like year after year, month after month, you are constantly going to be in this survival, fearful state, because you just don't know when it's going to come to an end, because you don't actually have a process or system to continue to grow it. And that's exactly what was happening. She was making good money with this membership, but it was like building something really, it was like building a castle on quicksand. You just never know. You're putting so much effort and energy, and like you have this big thing, but you don't know when it's going to collapse. And that was kind of the feeling around this membership. So here's exactly what we did. Number one is we closed the doors to her membership. That sounds so counterproductive, but just hear me out. We closed the door to her membership. And then the second thing we did is we built a really, really solid email funnel. Now, attached to that email funnel, we had a way for her audience members to take it further with her. So this particular client, her main thing was workouts. So we made a 5-day boot camp, but it was completely downloadable. It wasn't something that was live. It was actually just very simple. It was a 5-day boot camp that people could follow, and then that sold into her membership because it was a little mini version of what she did inside of her membership. Now, attached to this email funnel, she created a really, really great free lead magnet offer. This client's main thing was online workouts. So we created a 10-day workout boot camp that was like literally a little mini version almost of her membership, but really scaled back. It was great for people who just came across her page, wanted to check her out, wanted to see what she was all about, and sign up to actually be inside of her world on her email list. And obviously we used all the templates inside $1 Million Memberships Club to create this. So there was a period of time where we had two focuses. We had a focus to really push this freebie and get as many people as she could signed up for this email list into this free offer, while we went on to our third step, which was building her very first strategic launch. And this was completely off social media. Once that was ready, we spent about a month from getting people into this strategic launch event to actually opening the doors to her membership again. So all in all, we had the membership doors closed for a couple months, and we just drove people to a wait list instead of a sign up here page. Now, what this kind of secretly did is this created urgency, and it showed people, oh, when the doors open, I better not wait on this because they are going to close, and I can see they're going to close because I just had to sign up for a wait list. Also encourages people who are in the membership to stay in, because if they want to come back, they're kind of taking their chance. Now, this isn't the right approach for every membership, and especially as you are growing and scaling, I encourage your membership to be open more, but this does create a certain level of urgency, and as your membership gets really established, like hers was, this is a really smart move. Obviously, if you're in $1 Million Memberships Club, you can come and attend our monthly calls, and you can get personalized support and direction on what you should personally do for your membership. So this is where it gets really fun. We spent a couple weeks getting the sales event ready. Then we spent about 2 weeks actually promoting it, getting as many people as possible into the sales event. She held her sales event, and then on the last day of her sales event, she opened the doors to her membership again. But this time, she didn't just open the doors and say, it's open, come on in. She opened it with urgency attached to it. Of course, we used our signature launch strategy inside of $1 Million Memberships Club to do this entire thing too. Emails, event plans, bonuses, timelines, everything. Now, when she opened it, she had the urgency for people to join because, number one, they just saw so much value in the sales event that they wanted to join it anyways. It was such a clear next step. The sales event led right into her membership. It was a very clear, obvious next step for the people who took part of the sales event. The next thing is that she was very clear that the doors would be closing again. So if they wanted to join, they got to get in right away. During that sales event, after not being able to budge past the 400 member mark, she was able to bring in 250 new members from that sales event and lock in an additional $11,000. It's honestly so simple. And I say that knowing that sounds ridiculously unaware. It's very simple in theory that when you just have a plan in place and a system like that, an actual sales system in place to get the members is easy. It's predictable. It's just math. Now, something that a lot of other founders struggle with is they do events like this and they don't work. And a lot of the times when they don't work, it's literally just a visibility and numbers issue. So if you've done an event like this, which means you just might not necessarily have the number of people signed up to the sales event in order to get a really big number like that. And that's okay, because as you keep doing these and growing, you can keep stacking that and stacking that and stacking that. Your growth might look different. If you try a sales event like this, instead of 250 members, if you have a smaller audience, you might get 20 members. But guess what? How amazing is it to be able to plan a sales event and then say, okay, if I have this many members inside of my sales event, I'm pretty likely to get at least 10 to 20 new members this month. Okay, if I do that throughout this year, I can kind of start to predict how much growth and what I need to do to reach my member goal. And that's not even accounting for like social media growth while you're actually showing up and doing that. You guys, it actually can be very, very simple. It really just comes down to having these core things inside your business, which is why if you are building your online membership business, I really, really encourage you to come join us inside $1 Million Memberships Club. If you are listening to this in real time, we are open. Our doors are going to be closing up again April 30th. But this membership gives you absolutely everything that you need to build, launch, scale, sell, all of the things, build a really sticky, engaged community, set up your backends, your automations. It gives you everything you need to grow your membership from 0 to 7 figures. And by joining today, if you're like, okay, I really want to host a sales event like this, if you join today, you can literally jump right into our 30-day consistent sales challenge, which gives you the blueprint to do exactly this, exactly the strategy that I listed on this episode. You can use our sales calculator so you know how many signups you're going to need for your sales event, depending on what sales event you choose. We have options, guidebook of 12 different options, and you can hop right in this month and start executing your most strategic sales launch to date for your membership and start seeing real income coming in instead of just continuing to wait. You could literally add a couple more $1,000s to your monthly recurring revenue within 30 days, 60 days, just by joining today. And like my girls, the year is literally a third over. Almost. That's insane. 2026 is almost 1/3 over. And are you where you wanted to be with your membership when you started this year and you wrote your goals? Because I know you wrote your business goals and your membership goals. Right now, currently, are you where you want to be? Is this where you wanted to be in April, May? Or if you are listening to this at a different time, apply it to whatever month it is now. If the answer is anything but 1000% yes, then you need to act and you need to move now. We are waiting to support you inside. You just need to make the first move, my friend. Thank you so much for listening to this episode. I love you. I appreciate you. Thank you for coming back every single week, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.